Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, welcome to Classic Chatter March Madness!
Let's get ready to rumble!
Ladies and gentlemen, on tap for our games today. Tipping off first is the Rhode Island Islanders against your Oklahoma Sooners. The second game on tap for today is, looking across my board right now, I totally lost it. Tennessee versus Wright State Wrong. So we got some brackets here today, guys. We're going to have some fun. It's me, Austin, Britt, J-Rod, and Joey here today. As everyone knows, the March Madness tips off here around 12:30. So we have a little fun thing for you guys to join us with today. So we all know with March Madness, there's 4 brackets within the big bracket. So me, Britt, Joey, and J-Rod all decided to take one of our own brackets, fill it out together, and we're going to give you guys our final 4 teams, and we're going to let you comment below and say who you think's going to win those matchups.
I would like to go on record to say that I know nothing about basketball, so I based mine solely off of popular teams. I did what you're not supposed to do.
Sometimes that works, though.
I think it worked like 2 or 3 years ago. All the number ones went to the Final Four.
See, that works.
It does work. It's got a chance. It's got a chance. So, all right, guys. So we're going to start off. We thought it was fitting, since J-Rod's from the South Carolina, we gave him the South region. Yeah. Since I'm from East Side, your own, I got the East. Yeah. Since Britt is, Britt.
I basically lived in the Midwest for a small portion of time, okay?
We gave her the Midwest, and we gave Joey the West because he's our best gunslinging cowboy we got.
Pow pow.
Pow pow. All right, so first up, we're going to start things with J-Rod. He's going to run through the South bracket that he did, and he's going to lead you to his pick for the Final Four.
Lead him to the promised land.
Yeah, unlike some of these clowns, I know everything about basketball, so let me give you these picks. If you were doing brackets at your places of work, anything, if you got $1 million on the line, you follow this bracket right now. For the South, between Virginia and UMBC, I'm taking Virginia because it's for lovers and they love the ball. Creighton and Kansas State. I got Kansas State going because them Kansas, they get through tornadoes and stuff over there, and they just keep on trucking. All right, and then, Kentucky versus Davidson. I'm picking Davidson because Harley-Davidsons are really cool. Arizona and Buffalo. I picked Buffalo because bison meatballs are the bomb. Virginia and Buffalo here in the semifinals or the Sweet 16, whatever. I'm taking, no mind. Hold on, I still got 8 more to go. All right, Miami and Loyola taking Miami. Don't know why, but they going. Tennessee and Wright State, they weren't right, so I put Tennessee. Nevada, Texas, taking Nevada. Cincinnati, Georgia State, taking Georgia State. And then going on the Sweet 16, I got Virginia that I spelled wrong. Virginia and Buffalo, taking Buffalo. Because, again, Buffalo meatballs, go meat. Miami and Georgia State. We taking Miami because they're used to the heat and they can handle the pressure. And then in the Elite 8, I got Buffalo and Miami, and I'm taking Miami to the Final Four, which will then go to win the championship. So there's a 1 in 9 quintillion chance of getting this right, and if you follow my South picks, you're 1 in 8 billion closer.
Nice. Okay, so we have Miami representing the South.
I don't know what the hell you just said there.
All right, Joey, we're going to let you run through the West bracket here. Tell us your picks, who you got.
I really hope someone's following along with their own bracket and laughing.
I'm just picking it out right now.
I'm going to have Xavier go to the Elite 8. I'm going to have Houston go to the Elite 8. And Houston's going to end up beating Xavier and go to the Final Four. As for all the other garbage games in between there, I'll have Florida State winning, Ohio State winning, Gonzaga, obviously Houston, Michigan, Providence, and UNC. Then I'll have Providence over UNC, Houston over Michigan, Gonzaga over Ohio State, and Xavier over Florida State, and then Xavier and Houston wins.
All right, so Joey has Houston coming out of the West. Very intense there, very intense. We have Miami and Houston, two mid to lower seeds here representing that side of the Final Four.
Would be a big upset.
Would be big upsets, but I tell you what, like J-Rod said, 1 in 9 zillion chances to win. Why not go for it all? So, all right, I'm a little heartbroken here. Joey didn't take my Tar Heels out much further than the second round, but hey, that's all right. That's why we're here. All right, guys, so we're going to have Britt do the Midwest bracket.
I also feel like we're on, like, dodgeball, where it's like, this is ESPN, the Ocho.
The Ocho.
Okay, so I had the Midwest. I chose Kansas over Penn, and then Seton Hall over NC State, probably by unpopular opinion. Clemson over New Mexico State, and Auburn over Charleston. And then between them, I have Kansas and Clemson. I picked Kansas to go to, I don't know, what is this? The quarterfinals?
You got Kansas at Elite Eight.
Whatever. Kansas, and then I have Kansas, and I'll get to the bottom. So then between TCU and ASU, I did TCU, Michigan State, Bucknell, I chose Michigan State, Rhode Island, and Oklahoma, I took Oklahoma. And then Duke and Iona, I took Duke. And then between TCU and Duke, I picked Duke. And then between Kansas and Duke, I chose Duke. Let's go!
The Duke Blue Devils going to the Final Four out of the Midwest. All right. I got one tip for everybody out there. You can never take Duke further than North Carolina. It doesn't work that way, but we got it out here.
You can.
So far, to catch you up, we have Miami out of the South, Houston out of the West, and Duke out of the Midwest. And now I'm going to take care of the East side. Coming out first, I got your Villanova taking on Radford. I got Villanova beating the heck out of them. And then out of Alabama and Virginia Tech, I got Roll Tide. I got Bama coming out of there. Then we got West Virginia defeating Murray State. And then we got Wichita State taking down We Are Marshall. Then I got your Florida Gators taking down St. Bona. Texas Tech Red Raiders taking on SF Austin. Now listen, it was hard to not take SF Austin, being that I'm Austin and all. But we got Texas Tech there. We got Arkansas beating Butler. Yes, I said that wrong intentionally. And then we have Purdue beating CS Fullerton because Fullerton's much better at baseball than they are at basketball. Then I got Villanova taking down the Tide because I can't stand them. I got West Virginia taking down Wichita State. Take me home, country roads. West Virginia to the Sweet 16. Then I got the Florida Gators taking down the Red Raiders and the Purdue Boilermakers led by Drew Brees' three-point skills over Arkansas. Going to my Sweet 16, I have Villanova beating West Virginia. Take me home. You're going home, buddy. You're done. West Virginia, you're out of here. Then I have Purdue beating Florida. So my Elite Eight out of the East is Villanova versus Purdue. And I have Villanova going to the Final Four. So, everyone, if you're following with us at home, your Final Four from Classic Chatter is Miami out of the South, Houston out of the West, Duke out of the Midwest, and Villanova out of the East. So, comment below. Say who's going to win each matchup. Let's get it going. Let's see who you think's going to win. And we'll see how close we are together.
Yeah, so that's our bracket. Hopefully it goes, the distance.
Yeah.
What if everything on this became correct?
If this became correct, everyone should come here and golf. Come visit us. So, one nice little topic we got today for you guys. I know this will get Joey's blood boiling. I've been here for 4 years, and it's probably something we talked about the most, but do we think a March Madness bracket could work for college football? And if so, how many teams should be in that bracket? Joey, I'm going to let you take this one.
16.
16 teams. All right. What do you think? Do you think that these guys should your conference winner win? How's your format working?
I'm going to say you take the conference champion out of all the conferences, even the Sun Belt and the WAC, because you have to.
How many? There's 9 or 10 of those conferences?
There's 8, I believe.
There's 8. Okay.
I could be wrong because they constantly change.
So if you take those plus the 5 bigs, that's at least 13.
Right, and then that leaves you 5 other that you could pick 5 other teams. So if you wanted to have 4 other teams from the SEC East or West or whichever one, you could go ahead and do that.
Yeah, no, I think 16 would work. I mean, they're doing a little better now with the 4-game playoff and all, but
But I think I would give the top 4, or however they could determine it, a bye.
Like a bye. Okay. Yeah. No, yeah, because you deserve to be rewarded for having a good year. I think that would be great. I mean, the little 4-team playoff's pretty good now, but it's not as good as what a 16-game playoff could be.
Well, and the thing about it is if you look at it, a lot of those guys are looking to try to go to the NFL. Mm-hmm. They play 16 weeks to begin with.
Yeah.
So why not get them conditioned and ready to start doing it? You know.
Well, they right now in college they only do like 12 or 13 games, right?
Yeah, it used to be 10, but yeah, a lot of them.
What's
now.
An extra 3 or 4 games going to do? Anyway?
I'm over the Mercers or the School of the Blind playing like Alabama or these,
In November, we got to make sure
the week right before the conference championship game.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. It's frustrating, especially when you look at the Big Ten last year and they actually played each other at the end of the year.
Yeah, and Ohio State beat the number 4 ranked team.
Yeah.
And somehow it's all because of money.
I just think college football bowl games make absolutely no sense.
They'd make none.
Yeah, well,
it is about the money. Like you can, you can tell.
And originally there were only 4. It was the cotton, the sugar, the orange, and the rose. Yeah, and because they realized how much money they could make off of this, you got the
Tostito Bowl.
Well, no, you got like the
Daddy Bowl, and
the Scott's Turf Builder Fertilizer of the Week Bowl. You know, that's like.
I mean, the only thing they got going for them is they probably have the nicest field out of all the ones.
Probably, yeah.
True story.
Yeah. So but it's no, you're right. You got a valid point there. It's just. Like I can't. These teams, you have to go at least 500. You have to win. You have to go like 6-6.
No, Nebraska went last year at 5-7.
Yeah. Okay. So that's what I'm saying. So they're getting this extra game, and Nebraska's probably getting let's say $500,000 just for being in this game. It's just it's all money. It's all money based, and I don't like that. I don't like that.
You know what else? If you really get down to it, what else is kind of messed up is, so if Alabama plays in the national championship game, or just for playing in it, their whole conference gets money.
Yeah,
and then if they win it, they get even more money. Yeah. So no wonder why, the SEC is the football power conference. Whenever you've been in the national championship, how many games? And this is what, not to get on a rant, but this is what grinds my gears. Why is it that it's voted on by mostly broadcasters? There are some coaches polls, but it's mostly these big broadcasters that vote on who the rankings are and stuff.
Yeah, and they're going to play favoritism to where the region they're out of.
Right, and I'm sorry, but our committee that they have, and nothing against Condoleezza Rice or some of these other people, but it should be football coaches, ex-football coaches that are the ones that determine who the better teams are.
Well, what was the thing back in the 80s or whatever? Nixon picked who he wanted to be in the national championship, and Penn State got the shaft out of it, or something like. All the old timers will tell us the stories about it, but I guess the president came on. There was 3 undefeated teams, and the president goes, "Oh, it needs to be Texas and Alabama," and Penn State that year had the same exact record.
Why didn't they just do a 4-team game? That
exactly, they should have done something. So it's a shame. College football, I think, has a chance to be probably the most popular sport. But for some reason, they won't go to the playoff.
Money. It's money. It is money. It's what it is. Because if you have somebody like, I don't know, who was it? Who advertised or sponsored the Rose Bowl last year? Who was that? I'm trying.
Isn't it normally State Farm or Allstate?
Well, no, but whoever it is, if all states hey,
Allstate does, yeah.
If we're not getting one of these big bowls, they're not going to put in as much money. No. And then
Well, I think what you can do to counter that is whenever you get down to the Final Four, right there, why don't you just call that the Sugar Bowl?
You know what's really funny though, because the NCAA literally tweeted the other day. Someone was like, "Oh, the NCAA is against betting and sports gambling or something." But here, download our March Madness bracket. Play with your friends.
Well, I know that in Delaware, when I was at Wesley. We almost weren't allowed to even play football because Delaware was looking into getting into sports gambling, and they weren't going to allow any of the Delaware schools to allow, I guess, be considered. I don't know how you want to call it, organized or whatever, because they're afraid of people throwing games and stuff. But luckily, they only did it for professional football there.
Yeah, no, gambling and NCAA and all their rules are crazy. I think they're their own worst enemy. I mean, you got all these pro sports going through their issues, and college could just stay so pure if they just ran it a little bit differently and they let the kids.
And that's what everybody loves about it.
Yeah.
It's like that's why I actually am a big fan of the 1AA college football playoff.
Oh, yeah.
Because I believe it's still somewhat pure. I mean, don't get me wrong. You have your certain teams.
Well, they do like a 32-team playoff, right?
I think, or it's 16. I think it's 16. But like, here's where I'm going. Every other division, like double 1AA, 2, 3, JUCO, they all have a playoff system.
Yeah.
Come on, like it's about time. Like I know we have the 4 teams, but and like the thing about it is what if you have let's just take the SEC for an example. What if you have 2 or 3 lost teams there, but they're just that good?
Yeah. What if they lost to the top two
and
teams?
you have somebody from like the Pac-10 who's destroying everybody, but they're not good. Like, and I get people are like, well, that's why they have those games early in the season where the Pac-10 plays the Pac-12, but a lot happens through the season, and a lot of things change. And
well, you definitely want to lose in September. You don't want to lose in November or you're screwed.
Yeah, or no, unless you're Alabama.
Unless you're Alabama, then you benefit from everything. But ratings, right? People hate Alabama. People love to hate Alabama. It's the same thing with Duke.
Yeah, well, you need a bad guy. Yeah,
you have to have a bad guy. We're talking Cowboys. We're talking Yankees out there. Sorry, everybody. Like, if you have the bad guy that everyone, everyone will tune in to watch the bad
Wrestling.
guy. Wrestling.
It's all you have to have that.
You need a bad guy. It's good for the sport. It's a healthy thing. We're not saying anything bad about it. It's just they possibly benefit for a little bit of favoritism for ratings.
It just kind of takes away the pure of the sport at times.
Yeah, because you don't hear anybody talking about when the Royals and the Mets played in the World Series a couple years ago. It had the lowest ratings because people didn't care. It was the Mets of New York, not the Yankees. And
I'm not gonna lie, I was pissed. That was my season.
That
was my team. We won the AL East. That should have been the Orioles season.
I think what people liked was they knew that whoever won, they didn't really upset them. But at the end of the day, it wasn't the Yankees. It wasn't the Red Sox.
Who was it? The Astros and the...
Last year was the Astros and Dodgers. But everyone was pulling for Houston last year with everything
they
that
did
happened.
win.
Yeah, with the hurricane.
And then the year before that was the Cubs. Everybody's pulling for the no
except
offense.
for this
yeah,
guy,
I know.
Except for me being a Cardinals fan. But yeah, no, you're right. I mean, that stuff happens. But speaking of college, like if NCAA wanted to truly just destroy the NFL and just bury the NFL, they would do a playoff system of 16 teams. And I don't think it would change. It would be game changer. It would totally be game changer.
You could even set it up to where you could have your bye week over Christmas and still have your junk bowl games.
Yeah.
They
take 5 weeks off anyway.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Have your junk bowl games over the Christmas time or whatever, and then right after that is bam. That's when you get back into.
Well, what they do, they wrap up before Thanksgiving. Then we get the Army-Navy game in December.
which is huge.
It's huge. But then there's 3 or 4 weeks of no college football.
Yeah, and that's why 1AA is benefiting.
So, I mean, it's crazy. It really is. But I think college basketball is doing it right. I mean, March Madness, you don't hear any complaints ever. And
I think people actually get excited for it.
Listen, I don't really watch college basketball.
I don't watch college basketball.
During the regular season. But once right before March Madness, when they start doing their brackets their conference tournaments and this, I will watch it because it's exciting.
These kids are going hard. I mean, this is what they've lived their entire life for, and the fact that Radford taking on Villanova, or all of us, we're all from central Pennsylvania, so Bucknell's right up the road from us. If they can beat Michigan State, that's huge, because I was up there at Bucknell visiting whenever they beat Kansas 10 years ago. Huge trophy case of just that one game. So this is huge for these small schools, and it's good. It's great.
You got VCU was another one.
VCU, Butler. But now they're powerhouses because they had one big game.
That Butler game, who were they playing? Was it UNC?
Or it was Duke in the national championship.
And he threw that ball up right at the end there, and it hit the rim.
Yeah, that was my man Gordon Hayward, now on the Celtics. It's frustrating. I can't stand Duke. I'm so mad.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, it's awesome.
You want to see the Cinderella story.
You do.
Yeah.
You do.
You do. You want to see the diaper daddy, baby.
Okay, moving on. This was a good discussion, though. Hopefully, maybe the NCAA will listen to our podcast and change the way they do things.
Hashtag classic chatter.
Make it happen.
Make it happen, people.
Okay, so we're gonna do some March Madness trivia. This is something that. Well, let's try.
We should do teams.
You want to do teams? Well, I can see so I'm gonna have to see the answers.
It's gonna be us 3.
It should be you three, but whoever gets the first to like 3 points. So we'll just do one. If you get one right, you get a point.
Is it are we like ding, or is it like we're gonna go through? And, yeah.
And then Britt has to say who dinged first.
Or you could raise your hand.
Okay.
This is easier. Okay, so we'll start with an easier one. Ready?
Mhm.
Which
Ready.
team is the most recent team to repeat as national champions? Either A, Duke, B, Kansas, C, North Carolina, D, Florida.
Ding.
Austin?
Florida Gators.
Ding.
Hang on. I gotta see if that's right. Pause for dramatic effect. Wait,
think
what?
it
It
was
was
the Al-
question 3. Okay.
I think it was the Al Horford days.
Florida's correct.
Woohoo!
Hang on, wait. I have a special effect for this. Okay. Not really.
That's like is class done?
Class is in session. Okay. Okay. We'll do. Which of these cities has never hosted a Final Four? Chicago, San Diego, Denver, or Charlotte?
You guys might as well just pick one.
Why? Because you want us to like.
I want y'all to get
Yeah,
some points.
yeah.
San Diego.
San Diego?
I'm gonna go with Charlotte.
Austin? Are you taking the same one or different?
I don't want Chicago. Give me Denver.
Okay. Wait, which ones did everyone pick?
I got Denver.
I did Charlotte.
I did San Diego.
No one did Chicago?
No one did Chicago.
No.
Don't tell me it was Chicago.
It was literally Chicago.
Whoa!
We watch basketball that much.
Oh, that's horrible.
Okay.
That's horrible.
Let's see.
I would have totally went San Diego first guess.
Who holds the record for most points scored in a national championship game? Don't look at my screen.
All there is it's the.
I know, but you're getting an advantage over them. Okay, who holds the record for the most points scored in a national championship game? Austin Carr, Carmelo Anthony, Bill Walton, or Kevin Durant?
Carmelo.
Bill Walton.
Austin Carr. I don't think KD made the national championship.
I don't know.
It was literally Kevin Durant.
What? What? Listen, people, do not copy our bracket. We are horrible here.
It was literally Kevin Durant.
We got-
Hey, how about instead of we doing a ding, we just pick all so that we can all hear.
Yeah, listen. We have a 75% chance to get these questions right, and we are leaving y'all out to dry. Okay? We're horrible.
Thank God I'm not guessing.
Lordy.
So how many points is everyone at?
Austin has one.
We got one. I got one, yeah.
Barely.
That's it.
We're at -2 over here.
I'm at -1 now.
Okay. Let's go with which team is the most recent. Oh wait, did we already do that one? Oh, okay. Which team has won the most national titles in the history of the NCAA tournament? Duke, UCLA,
UCLA.
North Carolina, Kentucky.
UCLA. John Wooden.
I know the answer to this one.
Kentucky. John Smith.
It's Kentucky.
Joey was right. It was
I
UCLA.
had to read
It was Ookla.
I had to read his book.
So we got 1, 1, and 0.
Yeah, Kentucky's.
Come
got
on,
like
basketballer.
7 something. Yo, J-Rod knows everything.
Yeah, I know everything. Yeah. I'll get the next one right.
It's all about the U, baby.
Gotta pick a good one next.
Give us a good one, solid one here. Try to.
How
get
many times has an 11 seed reached the Final Four?
Ooh.
Once, George Mason in 2006. Once, LSU in 1986. Twice, LSU in 1986 and George Mason in 2006. Never, Villanova at number 8 is the lowest Final Four seed in history.
Give me C. LSU and George Mason twice.
That's what I was going to go with.
Give me A.
I remember George Mason. I was so pumped
The
up.
answer is C.
Yeah. That was an awesome
Yeah.
year when George Mason
Right.
made it. That was the ultimate, like, Cinderella. Because I think even when Butler went to the championship, they were still like the
6 or 7.
Wait, I got a follow-up question since you just said Cinderella. In 2006, arguably the most improbable Cinderella made it to the Final Four. Who was it? George Mason Colonials, George Mason Eagles, George Mason Patriots, George Mason Wildcats.
Oh,
Come on, king of the mascots.
Oh no!
What were those mascots again?
The
Let's
Colonials,
see.
the Patriots.
The Eagles and the
Eagles.
Wildcats.
I'm gonna go. I'm pretty sure it's the Colonials, but I'm not 100% sure.
Man, I was gonna go with the Wildcats.
J-Rod, what's your pick? Colonials, Eagles, Patriots, Wildcats.
Stop looking on your phone,
The
cheater.
Patriots.
It's actually C, the Patriots.
No, I swear. When I googled, when I googled it, this is all that came up. That's all I got.
Cheater.
-5 for J-Rod.
Okay, wait, so are you guys at 1-1?
Yeah.
I have 2.
Should we go into a lightning round?
Let's do lightning round.
Oh, no. See, I like hearing the answers because I like actually like.
Okay, lightning round. And it'll be, this is sudden death, okay?
So,
First to answer the question.
are we getting 4 answers or is it just like?
I will give you the 4 answers, but I mean, if you know it before, you can say it.
Okay.
So let's do. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
If he answers and gets it wrong, I can have you repeat the ones and do it like again.
And I don't get the answer.
Yeah.
One answer.
Yeah, it's one
okay.
answer and done.
All right, sounds good.
Which school first made it to 5 consecutive Final Fours?
UCLA.
Okay, keep your answer. Kentucky, Cincinnati, Duke, UCLA.
Kentucky.
UCLA.
Duke.
Hang on. I just missed my number. Okay, 14.
Kentucky.
Cincinnati.
What?
You're both wrong.
Wow. All right,
Okay.
we're out there.
Let's go with. Well, we already did the play with the player who scored the most, and we all sucked at that.
Kevin Durant.
Which team has won the most national championships in the past 10 years? Florida, North Carolina, Duke, a tie between all 3.
Tie between all 3.
Joe's correct.
Yeah.
So what? How many points do you have?
I have 2.
2? 1?
1.
Okay, so first one to 3. So if Joey gets
I
the
was
next one
trying
correct.
to. Yeah. Austin Carr.
Let's
Trying to
see.
think of when North Carolina won.
What is the record for overtime games for one school in an NCAA tournament? UCLA, Syracuse, North Carolina, Duke.
UCLA.
Overtime in one tournament?
Yep.
North Carolina.
Syracuse.
Carmelo.
What active coach has the most tournament titles with 3 to his name? Roy Williams, Mike Krasinski, Billy Donovan, Jim Calhoun.
Coach K.
So is that Mike? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I can't say his last name, so I'm sorry.
Mike Krzyzewski.
Yeah, whatever. 27. Austin's correct, so we're at a tie here.
Damn.
J-Rod's at -7, so he's got a while.
Oh, this is between y'all. So
Okay, hopefully this is the final question. Which of the teams listed below wasn't featured in the Final Four of the 2009 tournament? Villanova, North Carolina State, Michigan State, University of Louisville.
What was the first one? North Carolina State.
Wait. You said NC State, and what was the other one? NC State, Michigan State, and who else?
Louisville.
Louisville. What was the 4th one?
Villanova.
I'm going to go with Villanova.
University of Louisville.
What?
Man, I thought that was Rick Pitino.
I thought Pitino was definitely...
Wasn't he buying prostitutes?
I mean, for all we know, this quiz could be totally wrong.
It could be wrong.
Thank you, Internet. Best sports blogs where we're getting these trivia questions.
Shout out, #Classic Chatter.
Okay. During the opening round of the 1993 tournament, who did number 2 Arizona lose to? Princeton, Valparaiso, San Diego State, Santa Clara.
Hold on, time out. Were you born yet?
I was 1.
Okay.
I was
4.
1. Britt and J-Rod weren't even born
All right,
yet.
I was 4. All right. So what was that
Okay.
question again? Go again. Sorry.
You only get one more repeat, and I'm done.
All right.
During the opening round of the 1993 tournament, who did number 2 Arizona lose to? Princeton, Valparaiso, San Diego State, Santa Clara.
All right, so if I remember correctly, as I was sitting on the couch with my father at 1, I think it was Valparaiso.
I'm gonna go with the smart kids at Princeton.
And both wrong. It's Santa Clara. Okay, so hopefully we'll do one more, and regardless of who wins, we're just going to end it at this.
Austin Clark.
Number 1 Houston and Phi Slamma Jamma were upset by number 6 NC State in the 1983 title game. Who scored the winning basket? Derek Wittenberg, Sidney Lowe, Thurl Bailey, or Lorenzo Charles?
Lorenzo Charles.
Hey,
Derek?
Derek.
It was Lorenzo Charles! Joe wins!
30 for 30, baby! I watched it! 30 for 30!
I watched it too,
And we're saved by the bell. Does anyone have final thoughts before we sign off on this week's podcast?
Do you watch basketball?
a little bit.
Do you watch basketball?
Oh, yeah.
I don't.
What have we learned today? None of us know anything about basketball, and our bracket is awesome.
Good job,
Our
ESPN.
bracket's
30 for
awesome.
30. Got me through it.
Yes, they did. Everyone, like I said before, just comment below on your Final Four teams who you think's going to win. It's Miami versus Houston and Villanova versus Duke. So let us know who's going to
Or
win.
comment if you think we're
can we say
totally...
who we think's going to win the whole thing real
Yeah.
quick? Do we have time?
Yeah, go ahead.
I think it's going to be, honestly, Virginia versus Villanova, and I think Virginia's going to win.
I have heard Virginia's really good this year, so...
Yeah.
I would say that Villanova is definitely going to make it to the
Hey.
championship.
Delaware boy from Villanova. Won six man of the year.
I'm going to be honest. In my actual big money bracket I filled out, I had Virginia taking down Villanova as well. So
J-Rod?
I got Loyola going all the way.
All right. Well, thanks for listening, guys. Like we said, comment below if you think our bracket's total BS.
What's
Let us
that
know
Delaware
that
boy in
too.
Villanova?
All right, but until next time.
Okay, bye.